Hold up. Brad made this?
Hey everybody, here with Off the Field with Isaiah Robinson, special guest Makayla Pippin, aka Pip, 160, 6 foot, tall youngin. How you feeling, Makayla?
I'm doing good.
I can't forget, I'm good. And I also can't forget K-State commit. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
No problem. So I found a little clip we're going to show the fans of you. Just sit back, relax, and watch.
What clip? What clip? Oh my
God!
gosh, Isaiah, that's not funny.
Be attending to is undecided.
How old were you when this happened?
All right, Makayla. So, first question I have for you is, how excited are you to be invited to this event as a player of your class?
You tried to do that to me. That's not funny. That's embarrassing. That's good.
Before we get into this journey, you have anything you want to tell your fans?
Just thank you for supporting me, and I really appreciate it. I had a long and hard journey, but it was all worth it, and without their support, I probably wouldn't got here.
Okay. What was your recruiting process in high school like?
I had a very successful recruiting process. I had major colleges recruiting me out of high school. My issue is just my senior year transferring from Rock Creek Christian Academy to NCAA, National Christian Academy, and me not receiving one of my credits. Yeah, that's why I had to go the JUCO route.
Okay, so you said you transferred your senior year. How many high schools did you go to?
I went to 4 high schools. I went to IND.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that. What high schools were they?
I went to Institution in Notre Dame in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Pilates, St. Vincent Pilates, my 10th and 11th grade year. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Rock Creek Christian Academy my senior year. And I transferred, after the first semester my senior year, to National Christian Academy.
Okay, so what made you go to all those schools?
Well, each year, besides, of course, my 10th and 11th grade year, basketball, the level of competition improved every single year. I just wanted to get better. I mean, I feel like Rock Creek and National Christian definitely helped me improve for me to get ready for the next level.
Okay, well, so we're going with all those schools. Did you ever have any incidents, dealing with other players because you didn't know anybody, or just other classmates because you were moving around a lot? Was it hard trying to find friends? How did that go?
I don't think it was really hard to find friends. I feel like it was kind of hard because of me living so far, especially from Rock Creek and National Christian. It was hard to hang out with my friends outside of school and outside of basketball because I live so far. So everywhere was a drive.
Okay. So fast forward to JUCO. How was your JUCO life like? And how did you adjust from going from Maryland all the way to Arizona?
It was the struggle. My freshman year, I definitely cried so much.
Why did you cry?
I was literally depressed. Just because it was so far. I missed so many people back home in Maryland. And it was just a major adjustment because I just felt of course I didn't want to take the JUCO route, but since I had to, it was just really sad because I didn't expect my journey being like that. But I definitely think JUCO has humbled me in so many ways that helped me become a better person and a better player.
So you say you didn't expect your process to go like that. How many offers did you have coming out of high school, and what were they? Can you remember them?
I remember a couple. First, my 10th grade year, I committed to University of Florida my 10th grade year. Then I decommitted because the coach got fired. Then I committed to LaSalle University my senior year before attending the JUCO in Arizona. But I had offers from George Mason, Georgetown, Delaware University, GW, What else? Old Dominion, JMU, many other schools.
Okay. So going back to JUCO, you're an attractive young lady and talented. Did you have any boyfriends being at JUCO so far away?
Yes, I did. I had one relationship.
Okay. Did the distance ever stress your guys' relationship?
Yeah, it really did. It was really hard, but um, I mean, it was like definitely. I mean, I'm not saying like the struggles were worth it, but like, even though it was like tough and stressful, like I really loved that person. So I mean, it didn't like it wasn't that bad, I guess.
Being apart from each other, did you guys grow from that, or how did that happen? Did you guys experience anything? Did you guys learn?
Um, I think from being apart, of course, like when we seen each other, like coming home from breaks and stuff, I definitely believe that like made our hearts grow fonder. I know like absence helps that, and like it like we missed each other, of course. But I feel like also being apart like caused problems. Not being able to see somebody. Trust is key, and honesty and communication. So like sometimes when those aren't going too well, that's when like the issues come. But we ended up like taking a break for a while, and then like that time apart definitely helped us grow individually as like within ourselves, and like for us to become a better couple and like treat each other better and stuff like that.
Okay. So some people don't believe in time apart, but you believe in that and just growing and just understanding yourself and think about how you could build a better relationship being from using that time apart. You feel like that's was good.
um to a certain extent, like it's like if you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're taking that time apart to like, if you make excuses and you're not being honest about it, and you're just taking that time apart to just be like, oh, it's not you, it's me, or like, I want to focus on something, but then you do like the exact opposite. It's like, okay, well, just be honest with me. If you want something else, just be real. So, like I said, I feel like it's just mainly about honesty, but I definitely think time apart can help if it's for the right reasons, whether it be growing for y'all to become stronger or for yourself to become a better person.
Okay. So with you being in a long distance relationship, do you believe in long distance relationships can work?
I definitely do believe they can work, but I feel like um, it's all about that special one. I mean, I feel like that's really what matters. If that person is willing to hold you down just as much as you're willing to hold them down, and just like the effort is there overall. Of course, like all times aren't going to be good, but just like fighting for that person and just like not giving up, I feel like really matters.
So while being in JUCO, how did you support yourself financially?
My parents um, definitely was calling my dad all the time, my mom occasionally, but yeah, definitely just my parents, or like for stuff like from Walmart, of course, or like if I need like necessities. Food, I would go out to eat sometimes, not a lot. But I would just go eat at the cafe a lot. But other than that, I would just really depend on my parents, because I mean, I didn't have time for a job.
Was the cat food good there?
No, the cat food was really disgusting. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
What was the nastiest food that you could remember at the cat?
Mm. So they used to like make so it used to be like the food where they cook in front of you,
Hmm.
like burgers and stuff like that. That used to be good. But like the food that they used to make in the back, like for dinner or like for breakfast, sometimes like it just would be so nasty. It's like they would just be making anything, or like they'll leave it out for lunch and then like try to put it in the back so they could bring it out for dinner again. It was just disgusting.
So they served y'all used food.
Yeah, for real. And it would just be cold sometimes. I feel like the biggest problem at my school is we have flies really bad. So the flies used to be everywhere.
Everywhere, all over the food?
Yeah, like we had they had to shut down our cafeteria for a little bit because like the flies were so bad.
Ew. That's nasty.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do at JUCO. It's not like in school.
So since you had such a long journey, how does it feel going to K-State? No, you don't have to go back to the fly food and just all the used food. How does it feel? Talk to me about that.
It feels really good actually. Just that like, even though my journey and God took me down a different path, that like I'm at a Division I school now, and it's like even though like I said it was a different journey that I wanted, it was like it means a lot to me that like I just kept fighting and I didn't give up, and like all the hard work pays off.
Yeah. So congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
And through social media, I've been saying that there's a lot of racial tension right now up at Kent State. A student made a comment about George Floyd being one month off of drugs just because he passed away. So how do you feel about that comment?
I think he was being very insensitive. I don't condone racism at all. With my parents being like black, my dad being white and my mom being black, it doesn't matter. Like with me being biracial, it doesn't matter. Like racism is wrong. And I just feel like he was being very insensitive, especially like the times that like what's going on now. It just makes it even worse, even though like even before the times like that's happening now, it would have been worse before, but it's just like too much going on in this world that it's just like it's no time to be insensitive, especially about Black lives, because they really do matter.
You definitely right about that. So I also understand that athletes are planning on going on a strike if the student isn't kicked out for that.
It kind of puts me in a weird position because I don't want to not strike. So the strike is supposed to be no policy, no play. So basically, if nothing is done about the guy that said the insensitive tweet, that they're not like gonna play, like any of the athletes, not just basketball, but football, the boys basketball team, volleyball, any of that. So
it's a huge strike across the whole athletics.
Yes. So basically, if nothing's done about it, they're not going. Nobody's going to play, and I feel like it puts me in a weird like position because, of course, I want to strike and I want my voice to be heard, but it's like also thinking of like the business side of like athletics and sports. It's like hard because I do only have 2 years, and like me coming from JUCO to go to a Division I school, it's like hard because I do want to play, and it's just like makes it really hard. So I mean, it puts me in a weird position, but I definitely feel like you can have a voice with being able to play and still prove your point and get your point across.
I think it's a great thing that you guys are protesting, but do you believe that there's another way you can protest without sitting out a year?
I definitely believe there's different ways than just not playing, but sometimes, excuse me, sometimes it has to be taken to that extent because of the simple fact that if, like, sometimes words aren't just enough. So sometimes you have to take actions that may like affect the school for them to realize, because, for example, like football brings in a lot of money. So them not playing will affect the school getting money. So sometimes actions, sometimes you just have to take action. But I definitely believe there is other ways to definitely get your point across and for your voice to be heard without like sitting out necessarily.
Okay. The times we are in today that people believe that white people are just racist, but there's a lot of racial things that's just not in the white community, but also in other communities.
Yeah.
Believe that?
Yeah, I definitely believe many people not only are just racist, but they could be prejudiced, biased towards something or somebody that they don't like, or um, that they have an issue with, or just anything. But I definitely think like racism is very big, and it always has been, and it's always been an issue that needs to really be resolved.
So, do you think people are born that way, or they're growing up to understand racism? How do you think about that?
Um, I don't think nobody's born racist. um, Definitely, I believe it's taught, it's learned from behavior that you've seen or behavior like that you're taught. For example, like I took this interpersonal communication class, and basically it's just like you finding out like things about yourself, whether it be your self-esteem or just anything. So we watched this video basically about this kid. So it was like these black people walking around, and the white people were like trying to avoid the black people or whatever. And the black people try to talk to like one of the white children, and the parents pulled the white child away. So basically, it's just like the parents are teaching their child to not like this race or not talk to this race or something like that. So I definitely believe it's learned. I don't think you come out the womb prejudiced or racist.
So, the people of today, our actions got to teach the young kids that this isn't okay, and we really got to do something about it to change it.
Definitely, because I mean, even though this generation has to do work, we can teach and help the next generations after us definitely understand that racism isn't okay, and that um, Black Lives Matter. But until Black Lives Matter, um, it's like it's still always going to be an issue. So until everybody realizes Black Lives Matter, that's when all lives are really going to matter.
Okay. So our next subject, what we're going to be talking about for the people, females versus male sports. We always have heated discussions about this. We always talk about this. So now we're going to give the outside world so the people can actually give their opinions on this. So comment underneath. Tell me how y'all feel about this. And let's get into it. Do you think male and female athletes get treated the same way? And if you do or don't believe that, why?
To a certain extent, but no, I do not. Overall, I think of the bigger picture, and I feel like it's a business. Whether it be the NCAA making all this money, or agents making all this money off of players, the WNBA, NBA, NFL, whatever. It's a business. It's about money. So I definitely don't think women and males are treated fairly, just because of the simple fact that males genuinely make more money than women in athletics. So
what ways do you feel like they're untreated the same way?
on my outlook and perspective, I think that men get more opportunities and more chances than women. Not saying that women don't get opportunities and don't get second chances, but men get away with a lot, I feel like, because of the simple fact, who will want to take a risk on this is a scenario. Who would want to take a risk on a woman that makes 100,000 a year in the WNBA than a male that makes 35 million a year in the NBA? It's just like it outweighs, and I mean, it's really sad. I feel like that men get treated differently.
Uh, I don't really all agree with that because look, you have to think about it like this. People are taking the chance on a guy that's making 35 million a year or so. So say he does slip up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say he does like have a major slip up.
Okay.
And it really, I feel like it depends on the person, and I also feel like it depends on the scenario. But I also feel like being a male athlete that is making 35 million, you're brought to the spotlight a lot more than a female that is making $100,000 a year. So his mess up could really be a bad mess up and just ruin his whole career after that. So I feel like it really depends on the situation and who the person is and how big the mess up is. So say like somebody get caught drunk driving and he gets in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And say that's going for the male part, that's going to be all over the news the next day if he really is like a top athlete, right? But say a female catches a DUI, do you feel like it's going to be all over the news the next day, or how do you feel?
I feel like it also brings back to money and what the people want to hear. I personally think that um, men. I personally think society would rather hear about LeBron James or Cam Newton or somebody getting a DUI and arrested than somebody in the WNBA. I mean, I just feel like that just because of the simple fact that like no not only and I admit that they're brought to the spotlight more and they get more publicity, but that's just like also getting that publicity, I'm sorry, you make also get more money, and you also get more recognition, whether it be bad or good. So I feel like society eats up good or bad news. So it's like I still feel like men get treated differently than
So,
women.
so society may eat it up, but will the business owners eat it up is a real question. So say Cam Newton did get in a DUI or drunk car accident. You really think he's going to get a shot playing quarterback on another team, knowing, oh, how can we trust this man to take over our whole organization when he's out here drinking and driving and then messing up his life? You really think they're going to give him a second chance after that?
Not necessarily, but would you give a woman a second chance? The same thing if she makes 100,000 rather than Cam Newton that makes over millions of dollars. Let's be real. I mean,
I feel like it depends on the athlete. But personally,
yeah,
I ain't going to take nobody that get in a DUI drunk driving accident, honestly. Personally, me.
okay, but personally, let's be real. Everybody makes mistakes, and I mean, not necessarily. I mean, not all mistakes you can come back from, but like I said, if one person makes a mistake, Cam Newton makes a mistake about a DUI, but then a WNBA player like Maya Moore, Candace Parker or something makes a mistake about a DUI, who would you take a risk on? Like, think about it. How much, even though, um, like the owners might not eat up the bad, like be approve of the bad publicity. Just think about it, how much backlash they would receive if LeBron James wasn't in the league anymore. Think about it. So I mean, like, it's like, oh, do we just suck it up and like he makes this much money and suck it up because the fans love him, everybody loves him, and just let it go because he got a DUI, suspend him from one game maybe? Or do we just completely like make sure he doesn't like blackball him and make sure he doesn't get in the league anymore and receive all that backlash and lose money?
So somebody like Mia Moore or somebody that the fans actually like from a female's perspective, you don't think they'll get the same thing?
No. I feel like Maya Moore and Candace Parker. I definitely think that like as like in the WNBA, they're definitely seen as great and amazing players, but I just feel like society and just people in the business world frown upon when women make mistakes because it's already, I feel like society's already built upon like women are supposed to be not necessarily so perfect, but we're not supposed to be out there. We're not supposed to be exposed to the world. So when we do make a mistake or something like personal about our business or our mistakes are out there, it's definitely frowned upon, and it's everybody is very judgmental, I feel like.
So you feel like there's a lot of double standards?
Yeah, definitely.
Just in the world as general.
Yeah, do you not feel like that?
I do in certain aspects. Like it's okay for like a guy to have a lot of girls. So guys, that's okay. But if a girl has a lot of guys, then she's considered a hoe, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But do
So,
you think that's right?
yeah, if a girl mess with a lot of guys, I think I don't know. I
But
think you
then
consider
again, that's what I'm saying. That's like society. That's how society makes it. Like
Mm-hmm.
if a male, yeah, if a male messes with, yeah, like how you said, a lot of women, he's not frowned upon. But if a woman messes with a lot of men, she's frowned upon. But it also goes to the point where like that's just somebody else's perspective. Like somebody else can call a female green, but maybe another male might not think that. And it's like also you got to think that, like I said, society frowns upon when women make mistakes or women's personal business gets out there because we're looked at and like we're supposed to be pure. We're not supposed to mess up. We're supposed to be perfect. And when we do make a mistake or mess up or something,
I don't
it's
think y'all
very.
supposed to be pure or perfect. I don't think anybody thinks that.
But I'm not saying that like we're supposed to be, but I'm saying I feel like society makes it like we're supposed to be because think about it.
I
If
don't think so.
like how I said,
I don't think so.
you don't. Why?
Nah. Because at the end of the day, everybody's human and everybody's going to mess up at some point in their life.
Yeah. So then,
Like women do get second chances too.
yeah.
Because it's
But
not
so it's
brought up to the light.
but that's you. So like think about it. So like there's a lot of men that hear stuff about a girl and believe it like without even getting to know the girl or the female, the woman, whatever. Yeah, so they just listen to what society and their men or whatever says when genuinely she probably just made a mistake and she could be a real good person. I'm not saying that's for all women and I'm not saying that's for all men, but I feel like overall, I feel like women are looked down upon. I mean, for like their mistakes.
Okay. So do you believe women's sports is more entertaining than men's sports?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'd probably rather watch a NBA game rather than WNBA, but I feel like that shouldn't knock down that women play good sports. Like women are very talented at basketball, soccer, whatever this sport may be. I feel like just because overall in society it doesn't seem so interesting, it doesn't mean that the game itself isn't interesting.
Right.
I
feel like it is conflict right now because people do want to watch men's sports than women's sports because of the physicality of somebody like LeBron James or somebody like Maya Moore. Or it's just things like that. I feel like people are going to want to watch men's sports more. And that's why also I do believe that sometimes men do get stuck in chances because they're bringing in so much money because people actually want to watch them and see them. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree, but it's like we had this conversation before. I definitely think that it's another piece about like why
Mhm.
a lot of people don't watch the WNBA, but I don't want to get into that because I don't know how to say it because I don't want to.
Talk about it. Let me hear it. Try to
No, I don't want to offend. Like I don't know how to go about it or word it, so I don't want to be offensive. Like I don't want to be my words to be taken out of context.
So you're not giving what the people if they want to hear. That's what I'm hearing. The people want to
No,
hear it. Talk about it. Come on, this is off the field. Talk about it. It's all right.
let me think. How do I put
Now
this in?
explain it then. Would that be better?
No, okay. I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, I feel like it's all about it's a business world, and majority that run this business world is men.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do men want to see? They want to see what's appealing to the eye. So, I feel like in men's basketball, they want to see other like men want to see aggression, good basketball. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like men watch women's basketball, they want to see girly girls, they want to see pretty girls, and I feel like we a lot of women in the WNBA get knocked down because or like get put down or get looked down upon because they're not what how do I say they're not what the I don't know how to say it. I
But
just feel
the
like
male
they're
eye, you believe the, but really the male I want to see, like,
like they're not what society wants them to be.
and that's based upon their sexuality preference, or
Whether it be their sexuality or whether it be they're just a tomboy and they just don't wear dresses or because I feel like every woman in their own way is pretty, like beautiful, like whether it be their personality features, whatever the case may be. I feel every woman in their own way is very beautiful. So, and I like genuinely mean that.
mm-hmm.
And I don't think women or men or whatever should be looked down upon because of their sexuality or shouldn't get certain opportunities because they're not how society wants them to be.
Correct. He's saying it really is a business in both aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like you got to show the world something sometimes, even though it might not be you, to get that check. Because you think about it, you got actors like that, you got rappers like that. Those rappers that you see, they don't act like that in real life sometimes. They
Okay.
position themselves to be somebody that they're not to be, to get that bad.
I definitely get that, and I feel like that's like a good point. But think about it, like Kaepernick, he's he wasn't playing it. They like basically blackballed him because he stood up for what he stands for. Like so, and not just for himself, but for overall for the people. And I just feel like why should you change yourself to be liked? Or yeah, of course you want money, but like personally, why would you let money change who you are or change how you should act around certain people? Like for example, if let me think of a good example.
I have an example.
Okay.
So, like, right now, there's a lot of gay men in the league that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually, if you're gay and in the league, nobody gonna want you anymore because that's bad publicity, and that's just like you said. Like, the people that's usually in charge are like grown men, older white men, so they might take offense to, oh, he's gay. I don't want to either I don't want to play with him. I don't want to watch him play, or just certain things like that. So usually when guys come out the closet in a football world, they really don't be able to have a long career because they came out the closet. And that's why I feel like it's so hard for people that are gay to come out the closet in the sports world.
Okay, well, think about it in this way, though, also because that's society also looks down more upon gay men than gay women.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's like a sensitive, touchy topic because it's really just based off of how society really views you. And it's like very opinionated. It's not like, it's very hard to like make any of that factual. So I feel like,
No, it's factual. Because I did it, I saw it. Like, I seen with my own eyes. The people that have came out gay in the league, it's like they're not in the league no more. Maybe it's like one or two that actually came out that is in the league, but it's very rare.
but
And
that's what I'm saying, so it's not factual necessarily if you come out that you're gonna be guaranteed kicked out. I
right,
mean,
no, not guaranteed,
so
but
it's always, like I said, it depends. It's very touchy topic. It's opinionated. So I feel as though you shouldn't try to be somebody you're not for somebody else to like you or for money.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
I feel like because you're not gonna find your true friends or um, people that are really there for you or down for you if you're pretending to be something you're not. And I like learned that from experience. Like I know personally that I'm very blunt. So like I really kind of say whatever comes to my mind. And for the longest I try to like kind of bite my tongue, and of course, and I'm like learning as I get older, like sometimes you have to do that because you can't say everything that you want to say. But I feel like for the longest I used to say like not speak up about certain things because I wanted to be liked or I didn't want anybody to judge me. And I feel like that doesn't necessarily get you anywhere because you're not finding your true friends. You're not finding the people that's going to be there for you when it gets rough or when things are actually good. Like your true friends are going to be there. And I just feel like you shouldn't fake to be anybody or something that you're not.
Mm. And I feel
So,
like you didn't either. So it's really what
so,
I'm hearing is
so why did you say that you to get the bag? You think you gotta do what you gotta do, and I
what's
understand
hard
that.
to do.
No, that's what I'm saying. I understand that, but like you made it sound like for you to get the bag that you have to be somebody you're not. Like
No,
what?
you don't have to. You don't have to at all. But sometimes in certain situations, sometimes it requires you to do so.
Not, but that's yeah. It might you might have to, but you don't. It might call you to do so, but you don't necessarily have to.
Like I know in the music entertainment, in the music world, there's a
Hmm.
lot of grimy things that people don't even know about.
Hmm.
And I'm saying a lot, like people don't know about.
Yeah.
And they doing that in their own world or to try to get that money, try to get that bread, just like selling their souls to the devil. Like that stuff is real. I mean they want to, but just because they're trying to get that bag, they're trying to get that check.
How does that turn out for them usually?
Successful. I mean, they're getting that bread.
Successful with money, but that doesn't mean
Successful with money, yeah,
they're
for sure.
successful with being happy. Or, um, like I genuinely think, of course, money can buy what you want for you to be happy, but it can't buy you what you need to be happy genuinely within yourself. So yeah, you can be happy about all that money, but we also don't know the true struggles behind what like rappers or anybody goes through. Like yeah, they might have did that in a moment because they thought money was everything, but like how do you think they feel now? Like do you think they
Like
feel
you
like,
gotta talk to them about it. It really
look,
depends.
that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
they
just
done it for the money. They done it.
yeah, but you also got to think, like I said, it goes back to like people making mistakes and not fully, like, you just have to mature over time. And sometimes you look back and you be like, dang, like I was really young, I made that mistake. So
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I did this for happiness, like I did this for money. And it's just like sometimes that like can really tear you down to a point where it's like, dang, like I really messed up, like I did this for money, was it really worth it?
Mhm. That's where regret coming. So, who do you feel like gets more endorsements, men or women, and why?
mm. uh I don't know about, I don't want to say, because it's going to be very opinionated, so I don't know exactly um who makes more, men.
Oh, this is opinionated because you ain't do no research on this.
No, I didn't. So I'm saying, like, I don't know if men or women get more endorsements, but
I said, who do you feel like?
I feel like men.
Why do you say that?
Um, because like for example, like when you see on TV, like a man, or like for example, like Stephen Curry or somebody with shoes, or Michael Jordan or something, it's like, oh, I want them, like I want them shoes, I want that, like I want that outfit, like that sweatsuit, I want this, that, and the third. But
Because of the things they produce on the court.
yeah, but I just, no, not necessarily, but I'm saying like it's just um like for like I said, like men say, oh, I want them Jordans, I want that in the third, this and the third. But like when women's endorsements come out, it's very like strictly for women. So like basically it's hard for a man to be like, oh, I want that sports bra, or I want those shoes, when it only comes in like women's sizes. So I feel like of course men get a lot more endorsements because they're
Well,
brand,
to both female
yeah,
and male.
yeah, like their their brand is more diverse to male and female, instead of when women is really strictly for the women.
Okay, I agree with that. What do you believe to be the main reasons for continued gender inequality in sports?
For a couple reasons. Like I said, um, men are viewed more as more physical, more exciting because men can dunk. I mean, women can dunk too, but I'm saying like overall, like they do all the fancy dunks, or like they're more aggressive and,
More entertaining, you say.
huh?
It's more entertaining.
Yeah. So, and then like also, like I said, more money. I feel like when women start making as much money as men, um, it's like, how can you not give women those rights that men get? Like, for example,
First, you
like,
gotta bring the fans. You gotta bring in all. You gotta bring in the money to get the money.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. So when, I mean, like, for example, like women just got, like in the WNBA, like pay raises, better like transportation on flights, um, better like maternity leave, like and stuff like that. And it's just like, um, I know, like I said, like you said, it's about money. You have to bring the fans in, but I'm saying like overall, until we get the same amount of money that men get, I don't think it will ever be equal. It goes far as men's sports, I guess, to the human eye, like to society, is more um, entertaining, whether it be as far as dunks, the aggression of the game.
Hmm.
Um, but
Facts. Hmm.
but I feel like it also goes. But I feel like women have a style of play that's entertaining. It might not be how like society wants to see it, but I definitely feel like women definitely are entertaining. Like just because we take fundamental skills to a whole nother level. We're really fundamentally sound.
The
Um,
women they made the extra pass that guys don't make. You believe?
yeah, and I feel like women all times have to play defense, and I feel like in the NBA, men don't always play defense.
Only when it's crunch time. That's when they play
Yeah,
defense.
but I feel like, and then it also goes to the fact that like, think
Why
about
can't? Time out. So why can't women only play defense when it's crunch time?
Because I don't know. I just feel like women, the energy of getting to prove a point is always there. Like, for example, like, can you, like when Larry Bird used to play and stuff like that, they used to really throw punches, elbows, all that. Like now, it's like sometimes people be scared to guard LeBron and stuff like that. So it's like, it's just to a certain extent, I feel like,
would you try to block LeBron?
huh?
Would you try to block LeBron?
Yeah, I would.
You be on a post. Oh my gosh.
I think overall, it also goes back to like money. I feel like as soon as women start making that type of income in sports, that we will get treated fairly like men, because the question would be like, we make as much money as men, so why aren't we getting treated the same? But like the question now is, well, even though we don't make as much money as men, we still deserve to be treated equal, which is completely right, because whether it's money or not, I feel like everybody should be treated.
Yeah, the money or not should be equal. But I feel like once women bring in more money, bring in more fans, then that's when they'll have more money in their pocket, and that's when they'll have more money for endorsements. Once you get to that league, you're a product, and they try to advertise you as a product. And you could be your own product, you could be your own brand, and I really feel like it depends on what you sell.
Yeah, I agree.
Because some people don't know that people get more money in endorsements than they do in their contract.
Yeah, but like I say, it also goes back to like, for example, like I think if I'm right, if like I'm like remembering right, Skylar Diggins, she's really pretty. I would, me personally, I don't think she's like the best basketball player.
She's a good basketball player?
No, I didn't say she wasn't good, but I don't think she's the best. So, but for example, like I believe she was out on an injury, but she still got like all these endorsements. So like I feel like, yeah, so but why should it matter like to the extent like if a woman is not girly, or if she
don't gotta be girly, but
or if she doesn't want to be seen in a dress or whatever the case, why does she not get the same type of opportunities as a woman that might
depends how they look sometimes too. I feel like
but I'm saying why should I stop somebody to get an opportunity? Like, for example, like that's just like for like we talked about, and I don't want to compare looks to color, but like, for example, I don't feel like whether you're black or white, whether you're pretty or somebody might think you're not pretty, I don't feel like you should be held back on certain opportunities because you're not approved by somebody else.
Facts.
Whether it be male, female, like I don't think it should matter. I feel like if you work hard, you're qualified, or whatever the case may be, if you earn it, I feel like you deserve it. It should be too. That just goes for society feels sometimes. Huh?
I said I feel like that too, but that's not always how society feels.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like I feel like that's what's like kind of messed up is like everybody thinks they have to be approved, like in the society's eyes. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like for example, like you don't have to be a 5-star to get an offer. You don't have to be a 5-star to get a D1 school to look at you. You don't have to be a 5-star to get playing time. For the longest, like because and like this comes from experience. Like for the longest, I used to be thinking like, if you go to JUCO, like man, like what, like
you some shit.
Yeah, like you not good. But like the fact that I had to take the route, and I'm not just saying like that for but like for my like situation, but it was like players that I played with in JUCO that was really good. So it's like, it's just everybody's journey is different, and I feel like nobody should be judged whether they're male, female, what color they are, or what they like or whatever the case may be, or where they go or what like they've been through in their journey. I don't think they should be judged and they should be held back from opportunities that they may deserve.
I don't either. So that's our final agreement. I don't believe that anything should be different.
I know. About time we agree on something.
I mean, who's your favorite basketball player?
I would have to say, for women, Candace Parker, and for men, KD.
KD, okay. I like KD from around the way. Shout out 301. Shout out Basketball County. Shout out PG County. You know we out. Yeah.
Indianapolis, Indiana. That's the real basketball state.
All right. You taking it too far.
No, that's the real basketball state.
No, the real basketball is PG County. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. It's facts. Look at the page that came out here. It's facts.
Okay, but I'm pretty
it's
sure.
Facts. It's facts.
If you look up the rankings for states and basketball, I'm pretty sure Indiana was before Maryland. Because Indiana got some hoopers.
I ain't saying they don't. But
they got some hoopers for real.
Maryland got them hoopers. I'm talking about them hoopers. I'm telling you.
Whatever.
So now we get into the fun questions, the hot seat questions. We're wrapping it up. Would you rather be stranded in sea for 5 days or in the jungle for 10 days?
Jungle for 10.
Jungle for 10?
Yeah, I don't like fish, so I'm scared of fish. It's more resources.
Wait, so you'd rather be around bugs, snakes, gorillas, and all that?
Yeah.
Rather than just be with fish?
I have to find like a cave. Like it's caves and jungles, right? Or something. I don't know. Like I would just have to find some type of shelter or something because think about it. If you out on the
I'm talking about a jungle with no cave. I'm talking about a straight jungle. I'm talking about
then I would just find shelter somewhere. Like I personally think that jungles have way more resources than just being out in the middle of the sea.
Okay, that's a good. I'm saying switch your answer. That's a good answer.
Then also, I'm scared of fish. Sharks, they kill me in one bite. No.
Mm-hmm. What was your dream job in middle school? What did you want to be growing up?
Other than basketball, I always wanted to be a physical therapist. Like I always wanted to, if I couldn't be around play the game of basketball, I always wanted to be around sports. I always wanted to be able to help somebody, because me personally, I know how injuries feel, and I know how an athlete feels going through those injuries and wanting to play really badly. So I just want to be able to help somebody and try to make the recovering process as easy and as fast as possible if I can.
Okay. What would you do if you won the lottery?
I would invest in in the money, and I would probably I probably would buy multiple probably businesses or buildings or whatever the case may be for me to bring in more money. So me just winning that lottery wouldn't be my only income and source of money. Okay. I would try to make more money out of that.
If you could meet and have dinner with anybody who ever lived, who would it be and why?
Oh, anybody that ever lived. Oh, that's hard. I don't know. Oh, I do. My great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother?
Yeah.
Why?
I just feel like I didn't really, when I was younger, you don't really value time that you have with your loved ones as much as when you get older and you know that any day somebody can be there and they and then another day they can't. So I mean I just miss my grandmother. I would wish I got to really know her more and stuff like that. Actually be around her more. I feel since my mom's family is all in Indianapolis. I feel like I missed a lot of like family time from like being all the way in Maryland and not just having anybody but like my parents and my siblings and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our show. I want to say thank you for Makayla for coming on. Have a great journey, next step at K-State. You know, SmartJock will always be supporting you and off the field. I just want to say thank you again for coming on. Have a blessed day.
I appreciate it.